What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. This is the Philadelphia Regionals coverage. I know we cover the Masters Division on Monday, the Senior Division on Wednesday, and now we're covering the Junior Division on the Friday. Now, I know, pretty much nobody does coverage of the Junior Division, so I think it's a great time to talk about their decks and see why they played these certain cards. Now, for the past two videos, I have talked about how the first place deck for each division was Trevenant Break, so not too much to cover about the first place list, but congrats to Benny Billinger. I'm pretty sure I say his name, or BB. We'll call him BB. No, just gonna call him Benny. But he played this Trevenant Break deck, which congrats to him for winning. But played the Trevenant Break, Trevenant, Phantom Shaman, Jirachi, Wobbuffet, no Mewtwo. You actually opted not to play the Mewtwo, which I think is fine. Like, Mewtwo is a great attacker, don't get me wrong. X-Ball is really strong, but I think Wobbuffet is so much better. I'm sometimes tempted to play like two Wobbuffets in my deck because it's just so broken. Of course, he played Mystery Energies to give those Wobbuffet free retreat, but that sometimes does cause a problem when you need to retreat those Shamans and Jirachi because you only have these Mystery Energies in your hand because they can only be attached to your Psychic Pokemon. Outside of that, it looks like a pretty normal list. Actually, this list, okay, hold on. I'm thinking, me think about this. So, Sycamore in, 2 Wally, of course, get your Trevenants out turn 1s, AZ, Lysander, Flare Gun, Xerosic, Dimension Valley, 4 Crush Hammer, so once again, an Energy Now version of this deck. 1 red card, whereas the winning list for Masters, pretty much, I think he played 4, right? I'm pretty sure Crespo played 4 red cards in his list. Yeah, 4 red card, okay. What about the Senior Division? Did they play any so no tool cards again. I mean, hold on, Senior Division, come on now, Pokemon. Let's step up with it. Come on, Internet. But I'm pretty sure the Senior Division did not play tool cards either. I guess Pokemon.com is not want to cooperate with me. So go back to Junior. Hey, the Juniors works, but the Senior Division tab doesn't. Oh, there we go. All right, now it wants to work. But yeah, they did. They only played 1 Floatstone, and while the Junior Division, they did not. Looks like they did not play any tool cards. They played 2 floats instead of the 1, and they actually played the no, yeah, that's it. So just Crush Namer, Ultra Ball, via Secret Trainer Small, Flowstone, Compressor, Love Ball, Red Card, Super Rod, Computer Search. So just really consistent, nothing else too crazy. No tool cards either, so no Burst Balloons made it to either of the finals list, which is pretty insane, because usually when you think about Trevenant, you're like, oh, Burst Balloon's definitely like the MVP card of this deck. But no, none of these lists have played Burst Balloons. Only the first place list actually played tool cards and relied on them, which was those Rescue Scarves from Masters Division. So next up is going to be Rowan Godfrey Robbins. Oh man, if you remember the Florida stream, I don't know if you watched the Florida stream, but Rowan was actually owned there. I think he actually ended up getting second place. Yeah, he actually, I think like a 99% sure he got second place in the Junior Division when we covered it. Which if you ever watch Hemlock Grove, that's one of my favorite TV shows, and his name is Godfrey, which is one of the main people's last name of the show. I know it's off topic, but let's go over his list. It's Donfan, which I'm pretty sure Senior Division got top 8. Derek got actually top 8 with it. It's Junior Division. Rowan actually got second place with this Donphan list. So Donphan used that spinning turn. You could put it the Wobbuffets with Bide Barricade, shutdown abilities, and he actually played a 1/1 Carbine break line. Now Carbine does have that safeguard ability, making where EXs cannot hurt it, and he does have the Carbine as well if he wants to attack with that Diamond Gift to attach 2 energies from a discard pile to one of his fighting Pokemon, which is fantastic play as well. 3 Halalucha, because Flying Press is really strong with strong energies, obviously, because strong energies are strong. You do additional 20 damage, and he did play 2 Muscle Bands to do additional 20 damage as well, and Fighting State to do additional 20. So much damage output with just strong energies. He's got the Fighting Stadiums, he's got the strong the Muscle Bands. He also has Focus Stage as well, which is great to keep your Donphans alive for multiple turns, because if they're knocked out at full HP, they have remaining 10 HP left instead, and they do not get knocked out, and the Focus Sash gets discarded. Besides that, it looks like a pretty good standard. I actually do like the 3 Robo Subs a lot, because you can just promote that, let it get hit, and don't have to worry about your Pokemon getting knocked out or your opponent taking a prize card, which, I mean, when I played Donphan, it was always really cool to spinning turn into a Robo Sub. And if you don't know, Donphan does have the spinning a turn attack. You do 40, switch with one of your bench Pokemon, Wreck does 80, discard a stadium. If there's a stadium card to play, you do 60 more damage and discard a stadium card. Wreck is a pretty good strong attack, but it's definitely an end game, and that's why he only plays the 1 DC instead of 3 or 4 of these. But yeah, 4 Via Seeker, 2 Lysander, which I love 2 Lysanders in list. And there we go. So computer search for Rowan, and I think it's computer search as well for the first place list. Now this is probably a really bad matchup because Trevenant does have the resistance, so I imagine it probably wasn't that great of a matchup. But let's see, top 4, we actually have James Kowalski playing the Rainbow Road deck. So James, becoming one of my favorite people because you're playing Rainbow Road. I love these decks. I think it even gets better with... Oh, he plays a Stunfisk. Oh, we'll go over that in a second. Sorry. But yeah, I think Rainbow Road gets more versatile with the Dragonite that comes out. So I'm definitely going to cover that deck one day. I've been waiting to cover it for Expanded until Dragonite came out because it's going to make the deck so much better when they like bump your Skyfield or like put a Parallel City down. Then you put down a Skyfield, Dragonite for more EXs, which is fantastic. But Xerneas has that Rainbow Forest, 10 plus 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. Now you do play the Ho-Oh with the Rebirth, flip a coin of heads, put a Ho-Oh from your discard pile onto your bench. And then you can just Ninja Boy. Now James only played 1. I would probably opt to play 2 or 3 to switch out one of your base Pokemon with one of your deck and keep all stuff attached to it, like damage counters, energies, any effects as well. So, I mean, Ho-Oh still is really good, and he did play the energy switches, so you can switch the energies from the Ho-Oh to Xerneas and get attack off that way, which is fantastic. Now, of course, Shaman to help set up 1 Jirachi for support, or for supporter card, 1 Hoopa to Scoundrel search for 3 EX Pokemon, 1 Keldeo for the Russian ability, 1 Regirock. So this is actually a really interesting deck for sure. It's Stunfisk. Now, the way this works is he's going to use Regirock, Unyielding Rock. It does 60. If your opponent's active Pokemon is Pokemon EX, this attack does 60 more damage, which is 120. And the times 2 weakness is 240, which can knock out those Darkrai's, which are pretty dominant in standard. I mean, expanded. We know Dark is one of the strongest decks. Like the Yveltal, Maxie is really, really good. And then he plays Stunfisk as well with the Revenge. If a Pokemon is knocked out, you do additional 80 more damage. So you do 100 times 2 is 200. And then he did play, yeah, Fighting for Real. So that way you could do 110, so 220 to actually knock out an Yveltal EX, which is fantastic. So a really interesting concept of these Regirocks and Stunfisk that we haven't seen before in this Rainbow Road deck, and we pretty much haven't seen this Stunfisk at all. I know when the Stunfisk came out, everybody was talking about this card, like, oh, it's going to be the death of Yveltal, you can just revenge people for knockout, but then nobody really played it, it's too hard to set up. But now with Ho-Ohs, you can rebirth, then energy switch those energies to a Stunfisk, and take a knockout almost immediately, which is fantastic. Alright, but we have seen Regirock before in other Dark decks. They've used this instead of Gallade. I think Sosa played it instead. I know James Horvath did instead too as well, but I'm pretty sure he just used like Sosa's list. But yeah, still really, really good for sure. But 4 DCs, 4 Fairies, 2 Lightning, and 2 Fighting and 2 Lightning, which is all you pretty much need with Ho-Oh because you can rebirth, put these 3 on there, which is fantastic. So, 3 Juniper, 1 Colress, 1 Lysander, 1 Ninja Boy, 1 Ranger, and he plays all these different supporter cards, which is okay because you play the Via Seeker and Battle Crest are put in your deck. Alright, put those supporter cards in your discard pile, then Via Seeker from later on whenever you need it. 2 Skyfield, give 8 bench spots. 3 Energy Switch, 3 Train as well, 2 Fighting Fields, 2 Flowstone for Keldeo, 1 Sacred Ash to shuffle 5 Pokemon back into your deck, and 1 Computer Search. But like I said, when Dragonite comes out, you could maybe not use Sacred Ash anymore, and you can use Dragonite to get this Pokemon back out. Now, Sacred Ash is probably still needed. Or maybe Karen, still either one is fine. Karen's always like really cool just because you can Via Seeker search or shuffle all your Pokemon back into your deck, which is fantastic. Now, next up is going to be the 4th place list, Liam Halliburton, I guess how you say their name, playing the Primal Groudon deck. Hey, once again, I wish Pokemon would post like a bracket of who played against what, so that way we can see what decks be what and what was the series, because I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, like, but the TOs might have to report, like, what game count it was, like 2-1, 0-2, 2-0, which would be fantastic to see how these decks actually played out, and that's the key thing, like, who beat who? Imagine, like, Trevenant, it could beat Rainbow Forest pretty easily, but it might struggle against Primal Groudon. I think Trevenant probably struggles against Primal Groudon, because he plays like Pokemon Similarity and stuff like that. He can heal his Primal Groudons over and over again, and, Trevenant might not struggle, but then Wobbuffet might make it a little bit different. I know, like, in this matchup, like, Donfan versus Rainbow Forest, Donfan probably just easily wins that, because they can just keep, like, spinning turn into whatever. It's a, what is it, a non-EX prize trade, but Donfan pretty much wins that because they can switch into Robosubs constantly over and over again and force the Rainbow Road player to search out Lysanders. I could be wrong though, maybe it's the other way around. We know that these two players played against those other two players. It would be interesting to see, like I said, who played against what. Now, Primal Groudon, it's a really strong attack, and we actually didn't see this in the Masters or Senior Division, but Primal Groudon has a Gaia Volcano, 100 damage. If there's a Stadium card to play, this attack does 100 more damage and discard the Stadium card. Kind of like Donfan's, but it's way stronger. And it does have the barrier trait, where it makes where item cards or trainer cards do not work on the Primal Groudon, so you cannot license the Primal Groudon up, you can't Crush Hammer. And you're pretty good to go. So once your Primal Groudon is out in the field, it's going to be stuck there until you decide to attack with it, which is fantastic. Now, of course, you play 4 Wobbuffet. This is what you want to start with. It has a Bite Barricade. Shut down your opponent, which is fantastic. You don't play anything like Shamans or nothing, so you really don't have to worry about Wobbuffet. Some lists do play 1, but we actually see Liam not play any at all. 1 Regirock, which is a different Regirock, don't worry. It's the promo Regirock with the barrier trait as well, where it makes where item cards do not, or trainer cards do not work on it, and it has that Stone Edge. It does 80 flip a coin. It has this attack does 40 more damage, which could be your non-EX attacker like Carbink. We saw that Rowan did play that Carbink Break, but you could use the Regirock to knock out the Carbink Break, which is fantastic. Sometimes, like in that Donfan deck, Carbink Break could be all you need to win the game if your opponent does not play Hex Maniac. But we see, and Liam did play Hex Maniac anyway. He could just Hex Maniac that just Hex Maniac the Carbink can take a knockout regardless. But 1 Mr. Mime to prevent that bench damage, which is fantastic against the Fright Night decks. Like I said earlier, Dark decks are one of the biggest decks in the expanded, and being able to counter that Pitch Black Spear 60 and 62 a bench EX is fantastic while you're trying to power up your Primal Groudon, because it does need 4 energies, which does take a little while to set up. Now he played 5 fighting, 4 strong, and 1 basic Psychic energy, so that way he could attack with Wobbuffet if needed, which is very interesting for sure. But you know, Karina as your main Surge, get a fighting Pokemon, a Tool, Sycamore, 2 Lysander, 2 in, 1 Hex Maniac, and 1 Pokemon Singularity. I hope this is fuller, but Pokemon Singularity, remove all special conditions and heal 60 damage, which can set down a Trevenant player back 2 turns. 1 Xerosic, 4 Tropical Beach. Tropical Beach is probably one of the most expensive cards in the game right now. It's even more expensive than the Shaman, but you draw it, you have 7 cards in your hand, and then your turn ends. 4 Puzzle Time to reuse any 2 cards in your discard pile, which I imagine that's what he's trying to do. With the 4 Karinas, this is very possible to search this out. 4 VS Seeker, 2 Focus Sash, so that way your Primal Guidance do not get knocked out immediately. Compressor, Enhanced Hammer, Escape Rope, Flowstone, 1 Mega Turbo. You're going to see a bunch of 1-ofs. We actually played, hold on, did I see this right? Did I see this right? Hold on, where's this ace spec? I lost the ace spec. I thought I saw it, but then maybe I don't see it. Oh, computer search, there we go. I thought for a second I saw Gold Potion. I was like, what? He played a Gold Potion? But it doesn't seem bad, because if you Gold Potion and then like double let it for a Gold Potion and a super, and like a super, not a super escape rope, but super potion, you can heal 60 damage, so that'd be fantastic. Double gold potion and super potion could remove all damage off a Groudon, which is fantastic. That super potion heals 60 and remove, you just card energy, which is not too bad. You play a ton of energies, you play 10, so you should be fine either way. But he plays a lot of 1-ofs because he does play those 4 puzzle times to reuse any 2 cards out of his discard pile, which is fantastic. And there we go, there's the Primal Groudon deck. We've seen this before, we know what all these cards do, but it's definitely great that this deck did make top 8. I love Groudon, it's so strong. But next up, Maxie's Yveltal. We've already been over this. We know what this does. If you don't know what this does, make sure you watch Monday and Tuesday's video. We cover this fairly detailed. But Yveltal, Fright Night, Yveltal, Darkrai. I'm just trying to see if there's anything interesting. 1-1 Archeops, where we saw other lists play 2-1. And they played 8-4. I think all the other Maxie's lists we've seen actually played 7-4. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of them are playing 7-4. Besides that, nothing else seems too crazy. 1 Enhanced Hammer, it's not too crazy. It's definitely a great card, since almost every deck here plays special energies. Special energy, special energy, special. Not maybe not special, but special for sure. So, Reagan, sorry about that, Reagan, I didn't even say your name, but Reagan did make top 8 with the Fright of the Max Yveltal list. Very, very strong list. Like, don't get me wrong, this list is very strong, and that's why it has such a highest showing and expand it because it's so great. It's like really strong. Like I said, it has answers to everything with like Yveltal with Fright Knight, the other Yveltal, Darkrai, the other Darkrai. Like there's so many different attackers for different situations, which is fantastic. Next up is going to be William Wallace playing the Mega Manectric Garbodor deck. Now, I know a bunch of people who actually consider this deck going to regionals in the Masters Division because they expected, like, Trevenant being everywhere. They expected Yveltal being everywhere, which this deck probably easily destroys. But if William played against, let's see, top 4 was Trevenant, Donfan, Rainbow Forest, Primal Groudon. So if he played against one of these 2 top 4 lists, he probably easily lost. And probably even the Rainbow Forest, because Mega Manectric can one-shot that, and the Rainbow Forest can knock you out pretty easily. So 3 out of the 4 matchups in top 4 in top 8 were pretty bad that he could have played against. So if you play against Trevenant, I think it would have been totally different because I think Trevenant's a great matchup for you because you do play those. I haven't looked at his list yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a great matchup for you. But let's go over it a little bit just in case you don't know what this Mega Manectric deck does. Mega Manectric does 110, and you attach 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And a key thing to note about Mega Manectric is it does have that free retreat. So you can switch out between Mega Manectrics at any moment you want to, which is fantastic. Now, Manectric is a good attacker as well. Overrun 20 and 22 at bench, and Assault Laser 60. If there's a tool attached to it, it does 60 more damage for 120. And obviously, he played a 2-2 Garbodor to shut down abilities. And, oh man, he actually played the Tool Drop Trubbish, which I do love a lot. Tool Drop has that. Trubbish has a Tool Drop attack, does 20 damage for each tool attached to the Pokemon to play, both yours and your opponent. So if you get a bunch of tools down and your opponent gets a bunch of tools down, you could sneak a knockout with this tool drop, which is great. 2 Garbodor, of course, for that Garbotoxin, shutting down tools, or shutting down abilities if there's a tool attached to this guy. 2 Wobbuffet. Once again, a really good attacker. That's like, so you can like Mega Manectric, you can Turbo for 110, then Wobbuffet for like a ton of damage, knock out pretty much anybody you want to, which is great. But 1 Shaman, 1 Hoopa, and then 1 Mewtwo Side Drive, another great attack as well. I know I said this in earlier, the Trevenant deck, but you can Side Drive for 120, discard a Psychic Energy onto this guy, or you can X-Ball just for a ton of damage if there's a lot of energies attached to both Pokemon. So Mewtwo, it's a great attacker as well. Wobbuffet and the Trubbish are all fantastic attackers, which partner well with Mega Manectric because Mega Manectric can power up this Pokemon on your bench with that Turbo Assault. But 4 Sycamore, 2 Lysander, 2 in, 1 Ghetsis. Oh no, well, I don't know why I read Ghetsis. I don't know why I saw Colress and thought Ghetsis. Maybe I just want to pretend like I saw Ghetsis. But Colress, 1 Scintillating again, making an appearance, and combining this with Rough Seas, you can heal 90 damage return from Mega Manectric. And like I said earlier, this probably does have really good like matchups against Trevenant because Trevenant, they can auto like you, which is it's not so much of a big deal in this deck because you can just Mega Evolve, whatever. You're not attacking turn 2, turn 2, turn 3, but neither is your opponent, which is great. And what you could do is switch out between different Mega Manectrics. You get Rough Seas, heal your Mega Manectrics, and 2-shot those Trevenants fairly easily. And if they discard your energies off the active, you just gotta hope you can have Turbo Sword into a bench one. Okay, maybe not. Maybe think about it. It might be a little bit difficult matchup, than I say it is. But I think it's definitely in your favor, especially with the Rough Seas and the Pokemon Center Lady, which can help you out a lot. But 4 VS, you get to reuse supporter cards, 3 Flowstone, 3 Spirit Links, 3 Max Elixirs. So he's actually going to oscillate Max Elixirs instead of Mega Turbos. I think either one is fine because you play so many basic Pokemon, and you can Max Elixir to a Trubbish and then attach energy and like super sneak and knock out that way. But that's really cool play for sure. But 3 Train as well. 3 Ultra Ball, okay? That's interesting for sure. And 1 Computer Search. I'm pretty sure everybody has played Computer Search so far. But the next 2 lists, we know what these are. Darkrai Yveltal. Actually, just like, okay, no, it's just like a regular Dark deck. Just Speed, Darkrai, Dark Pulse, with Dark Head, Darkrai with Night Spear, and 2 Yveltal EX, and 1 Fright Knight. So it's just another, like, depending on the situation, who do you want to attack what kind of deck? Like, Dark Pulse is such a strong attack, especially with, like, Dark Patch and Max Elixirs. You can easily get 8 energies on your field turn 1 and attach one for 9. Like, if you do that, you pretty much win because you're doing 180 damage, like, off the back, which, like I said, it might sound complicated, but it's fairly easily done with 12 Dark Energies. But for Sycamore, to win, AZ, Lysander, Karen, Ranger, once again, a bunch of 1-out supporter cards. Only 4 this time, but you do have those VS Seekers to reuse them later on. 2 Reverse Volley, so you can do additional 10 damage for that turn. And 3 Fighting Bill. So maybe you could get a turn 1 200 damage with the Dark Bolts. That'd be, I mean, it might be fairly hard to do, but if you do that, like, I'm pretty sure you just win the game from there. Like, if my opponent did 200 damage turn 1, got 9 energies on the field with a reverse Valley fighting for real, I'm definitely just like shaking my opponent's hand and leaving. Like, all right, you got this. I can't do anything about that. But you know, Dark Patch, Dark Energy from discard pile to one of your Dark Pokemon. Max Elixir top 6, attach energy to one of your bench-based Pokemon. Yeah, pretty much everything is self-explanatory. One energy switch, which makes things spicy because you can like Dark Patch to a bench, energy switch up to the active to help get that turn 1 attack off if you do have a Darkrai in the active spot. But you do play 2 of the free retreat Darkrai, so it's not too hard to trade between different Darkrai's, which is fantastic. I might actually even opt to play a Ninja Boy in this deck, just so you can Ninja Boy out attackers at any moment, depending on the situation. I mean, still, I think Hunter, I didn't even say this was Hunter. Congrats, first of all, for top 8. That's fantastic. But this list, pretty solid. I do like it a lot. I don't think I don't like is the one Life Center, but I mean, you're so fast, it probably doesn't even matter. Alright, so next up is the last place, going to Max Inman, playing the Darkrai Giratina with the Hydreigon. Okay, so, a Latios as well. That's super spicy. And 1 Talonflame? What? Okay, alright. Alright, I can, I wonder why the 1 Talonflame. That's really, like, spooky. I mean, if you start with Gelwing, or if you start with Gelwing's Talonflame, you could put yourself in a fantastic position. It has that Fear Tree, which is great to have. But you have to start with it. It's a 1 out of 11 Pokemon. So 1 out of 60 chance. I don't know the odds of that. Like, I don't know like the percent of what that is. But that's really hard to do. I mean, I wonder how often Max hit this Talonflame. If anybody knows Max, let me know. Did he hit the Talonflame or not? That'd be fantastic to know. But he's actually playing the Darkrai Giratina. We know these two do. The couples that we don't know really is the Hydreigon, which gives your Dragon Pokemon to play 2 less retreat costs, which could get your Giratina a 1 retreat cost. But I mean, I think he might have actually played this for Shred. He does play a Ranger as well, but Hydreigon can Shred, get through any effects on your opponent's act Pokemon, so that way you can attack Jolteon when they're attacking you. You don't even need a Ranger. You're like, all right, cool, Shred. You can get through any effects, which is fantastic. It could be for that free retreat the 2 less retreat costs, but if it's for that, I would definitely probably just put like the other Darkrai that gets free retreat for Dark Energies. I mean, there has to be a reason why he played this, and I imagine it's for that Shred attack. But 1 Shaymin EX, 1 Hoopa, 1 Latios for that fast raid attack. If you go first, you can use the attack on this first turn, and that's fast rate for 40, which could like knock out a Pokemon. And let's see, he does play only Fighting Fury Belts, no Muscle Man, so the max he can do is 50. So I mean, I would probably play Muscle Bands if you're playing Latios, so that way you can hit 60 damage, which is enough to knock out a Froakie, which is definitely like one of the biggest basic like low HP Pokemon we'll see. And expanded if like somebody decides to make a hot run with Greninja. And that's the thing to note, none of these top 8 lists had Greninja at all, if I remember correctly. Let me make sure. The only one I don't know for sure is Seniors, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no Greninja here either. So no Greninjas made top 8, which is very interesting after it won Arizona Regionals a couple months ago. So let's go back down to Michael's list. Not Michael, sorry. Junior Division, come on, Pokemon. Oh, man, Pokemon, come on now. Look, we were just on there. What are you doing now? I think it's just Pokemon.com being slow. Or maybe it's my internet. I think it's Pokemon.com just being slow right now. But, yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen the Hydreigon play too much, and the Latios is definitely really spicy. Now, I know for sure he didn't play Ninja Boy when looking at the list. I did not see a Ninja Boy, which I might actually opt into if you're playing this Latios Donk deck version. But Sycamorian, Lysander, Ranger, Skyfield, Max Elixir, Train as well. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. He actually played 2 special charge, which is very interesting to get back those double dragons. And he opted to play Switch instead of Olympia, which we know almost like all the top 8 that made cut with Darkrai Giratina played Olympia. And he did opt to play Switch, which I think is fine either way. He does have that Giratina get those almost free retreat for his Dragon Pokemon, which is fantastic. And there we go, guys. There's my top 8 coverage of the Junior Division. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. I know next week is going to be Fort Wayne Regionals. I'm actually going to be playing that. And let's see what's going to be top 8 that weekend. Hopefully I'll do a video next week cover some of the best decks that are like potential plays for Fort Wayne Regionals. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Let me know what you think about this coverage, if you like this or not, if they're too long, if they're pointless. I mean, regardless, I'm going to cover these because it's a lot of fun for me to talk about these decks and cover why they play certain cards. At least I could try to think why they played them. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.